trying to keep up with classes, deadlines, social life, and still trying to find time for yourself. What if you treated your student life like you're running a business? As a student, you're basically running your own startup. You are the CEO, project manager, and the whole team. And just like any business, you need to manage all the key departments: planning, adaptation, and stress management. These aren't just fancy words, these are practical areas you're probably struggling with. If you're like many other students, you have felt that last minute panic before you're about to reach your deadlines where you have to complete a project or an assignment. Maybe you had a real plan, but all of a sudden your phone breaks down. That's when planning breaks down. Planning means intentionally setting aside time. It may be weekly or daily to map out exactly what needs to be done. Many students, including myself, find that using a calendar or a task list takes away that what do I do next feeling. So, first up, planning. Think of this as your strategy or business model department. This is where you define your why and how, your goals, your priorities, and step by step roadmap. Start by setting clear, realistic goals. Instead of a vague study more, go for something more specific like study this 2 chapters today, or finish this assignment by Thursday. And when you set clear goals like this, it acts as you have a business objective. And this in turn gives you clear direction and purpose. And you can simply do this by just using your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, or just a simple planner on your diary. And this is what we have been doing for such a long time, planning our week or planning our month. But the key difference here is that we are breaking down our objectives and our goals into smaller and more actionable steps. This is the key. Businesses do not launch a product overnight. They build a minimum viable product first, test it, and iterate it. You basically do the same with your studies and your student life. Also, avoid over planning. If you are a student looking for scholarships or universities abroad, you need help crafting a standout CV, or you want expert feedback on your motivation letter, I offer personalized consulting services to get you ahead. All for a small fee, you can get expert help. All you have to do is visit my website in the description. There, click on book now, and you fill the Google Forms. All the information is embedded in there, and I will take care of the rest because I have done this before. Now it's my turn to help you out. Now, let's talk about adaptation, your personal research and development department. Because let's be honest, plans need to be flexible. If a meeting runs long or an assignment takes more time than you have actually planned, adjust your plan instead of forcing on it. Flexibility is what helps a business or a student survive in a changing environment. For example, you might plan to go and study at the library, but when you reach there, you find out that it's full of people, it's packed. You go to a cafe, it's very noisy there. That's when your ability to adapt comes into play. Adaptation here is about running experiments on yourself. You try, you observe, and adjust, like a startup testing for prototypes. For example, we have different study techniques. I know a lot of people who can study for hours in one end. There are people like me who love to study with white noise and take a lot of breaks. So, my point here is that it's not about our study methods, it's about energy and mindset. Some days you are just mentally drained, and some days you keep on going. Weekly retrospectives. What is it? Every weekend, ask yourself 3 simple questions: what went well this week? What didn't? And what would I try differently this time? And with the answers you get from here, use a feedback loop from it. Think of it as a build, measure, and learn cycle. For example, you tried studying at night for a whole week. It did not really work out. Maybe that's data, your feedback loop, to maybe start studying in the mornings instead. 2. Keep a flexible schedule. Do not peg every minute on your planner. Leave at least 10 to 20% of your calendar open for adjustments at the last minute. The key to having long term life balance as a student is not just about having a flawless system. It's about having one that learns and improves. Just like a business, it evolves over time. And that's your R&D. That's how you stay sharp, relevant, and resilient, all by being flexible. Most students know this feeling. Deadlines closing in, sleep schedule wrecked, meal skip, and your brain just shuts down. Maybe you have been there too. You tell yourself just one more hour, fueled with caffeine and stress, until you finally crash. And that's where stress management comes in. I'm talking about your operations and human resources department. It's what keeps your company, you, running every single day. And without solid daily operations, even the best strategy will fail. Think of operations as your day to day functionality. That includes sleep. This is where you actually recharge yourself. Second is food. This is where you get your fuel. Third, breaks. Just like any other machine, you need break or else it will break down. Try the 50-10 rule, where you work for 50 minutes, you deserve at least a 10-minute break. And fourth, movement. Whether it's walk, stretching, or a short workout, you see a quick movement sharpens your focus and resets your stress levels. Now, think of HR as your internal culture, your morale, your energy, your motivation. If a company ignores its employees' mental well being, productivity crashes, and you're no different. So, ask yourself what helps you reset emotionally. Maybe you had a long weekend and you just prefer to sit in your room and sip a glass of wine. And second, who can you talk to when you are overwhelmed? Third, and the most important, are you setting boundaries on how much you can take on with your life? Maybe for you, it's just journaling or calling a friend, or just saying no to extra commitment or extra work in your life. So, this is how I balance my life with something known as tactical tools. First is I set non negotiables. For example, no work after 10 p.m. Second is use my downtime actively. For example, scrolling on your phone when you're taking rest, if it's draining your energy, don't do that. List like 5 to 10 simple things that restores everything in you. Your energy levels, your motivation, your mood, everything. For me, watching a movie or a series, listening to music, or just playing games. Whatever works for you. Remember, this isn't soft stuff. It's operations, it's logistics, it's keeping the system functional. So, how do you actually keep all of this going? You have three ways to balance your life as a student, treating it like a business. First, you know how to plan things. Second, when things don't go according to plan, like it always happens with life, you have to adapt. That's where you find for innovation and different ways to adjust and reshape your life. Thereby, that's your research and development. And third, the most important, your stress management department, which is your operations and human resources department. Your student life business thrives when you stay on your game on these three things. Life doesn't always go to plan, and when we look for balance, balance isn't about perfect control or never failing. It's about consistent awareness and smart management. Yet, if you are still struggling to get to that edge in life to change things, here is a video on how to start fresh without starting from zero. Feel free to check it out.